Of all the things I was expecting to come out of your mouth, Leg Avenue was not one. If you know, you know.
It's time to take A Therapeutic Dose, a prescription-strength reality TV podcast that explores the intersection of reality TV and therapy. Possible side effects may include entertainment, strong emotional reactions, and/or laughter. Here are your hosts, Ramona Ramirez and Margie McGee.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to A Therapeutic Dose, where we meet at the intersection of reality TV and therapy. I am Margie McGee, and with me, as always, is my dear friend and co-host.
Hello, I am Ramona Ramirez Higgins. Hello. Hi.
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 And we just gently raged about the state of affairs and our personal lives and in general for an hour. And I feel it's always cathartic, my friend. And thank you for your perspective on everything. And thank you for
Likewise.
just bearing witness to life on life's terms. God damn it.
God damn it. God damn it. I texted you before we were going to start, and I was like, well, I really want to keep it short. It takes me a while to unwind from bed. And I think it was more like, I don't want to deal with having to tell you what's going on. Sometimes the behavior of other people really just stuns me. And then I feel crazy. And then I start to doubt myself, because usually you and I catch up. And I was like trying to get away. I was looking for a loophole out. I'm like, oh, well, it does take, and it's true. It does take me a really long time to wind down from this when we record at night because it's so fun for me to talk to you for so long.
It's like doing a show.
Exactly.
There's like a big dopamine flood.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. On top of the fact that you're like one of my nearest and dearest. And when we do this, it just feels like I'm talking to one of my best friends because hello, I am. This is just how we talk about Bravo. This is how we've always talked about Bravo. My point is that when we're done, I have to claw at unwinding, claw towards putting my head on the pillow and sleeping. It's everything I know I should do, but then I get distracted. Or the New York Times games I haven't finished, yada, 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 whatever. I think I was looking for a loophole to get out of catching up with you. Because I didn't want to deal with those feelings.
I know, but
lo and behold, my plans did not work out. And an hour later, here we are.
Literally, we had a therapy session. It was 1 hour of discussion, and I didn't mean to be so vague. It's just interpersonal relationship
totally.
stuff.
It's
and
nothing exciting whatsoever.
Betrayal wounds that are being picked at, and it's again, if it's hysterical, it's historical. So when I hear my voice getting that tense or emotional or raised, it's about more than just what happened today.
Exactly.
Today is symptomatic of stuff that I still can work on and pay attention to different ways to address things or approach things that are a little more self-protective.
Oh my God, yes.
I don't love that word, but more of an advocate for myself, I guess maybe
is the
way to say it.
I think
I don't want to I don't want to shrink away. I just want to be actually, no, here's what I know is right and true. And what you're trying to tell me is not right or true. And if we both really believe in what we're saying right now, then we no longer see eye to eye and we should probably spend less time together. That's really painful and confusing and sad. But don't try to convince me that I'm wrong because I feel super secure that I got this. And if you actually genuinely feel the same way about your point of view, then we are not aligned.
Yeah.
Our principles are not aligned. Our values are not aligned. And we should take a break.
As one Paige DeSorbo said on last season of Summer House, I don't hate you, but I see you. Chills.
Iconic.
Every time. I thought about that a lot.
I'm telling you, I feel like that quote does not get its due. And
no,
there's a tattoo artist here who does tiny tattoos, these super fine line tattoos, and he'll often do them
the one that Kyle Richards went to. Just kidding.
Oh God, I doubt it.
I'm just joking.
But a good artist is a good artist. I don't know what the artist looks like. Yes, but he'll do tattoos, little fine line tattoos on the inside of your finger, stuff that you want to read. And part of me wants to put on there, I don't hate you, but I see you, on my middle finger. So if I flick someone off, I can, because I feel like that's exactly what I'm experiencing right now. Is I have so much love for this person, but I see something new or something that I something that I sensed was true, but didn't have anything to confirm it. And now there's some confirmation, and I feel like, oh no, I don't hate you, but I see you.
Mm-hmm.
And that's weird. 'Cause
It is weird.
it's not what you presented, and it's not you and I both know it's not what either of us wants. So that's a challenge. Sorry to be so vague, but I hope people understand even in vagueness.
I hate being, and I know this term gets thrown around a lot these days incorrectly, but I feel gaslit AF right now. Like to the point where I looked at another person who knows me really well and I was like, am I crazy? No, am I? Like, am I completely missing the plot? Am I completely just in my own world? And they didn't necessarily answer because I think this person really wants to be as neutral a third party as they can be. Because like I've told you, dude, I tell my therapist, my ketamine therapist, my psychiatrist, like I will tell anybody, please don't like yes man me. Like I want to know, give it to me straight, give it to me harsh. I don't give a fuck. No one can talk harsher to me than I've talked to myself.
But I now at this stage in my mental health development, I realize with some people in my life, I need to add the caveat of like, give it to me harsh, but it has to be the truth.
Yes.
Don't come at me
Well,
with
for
something that you
sure.
want me to believe is true, so I'll shut up or go
Yes.
away or be quiet or let it go. I've made no secret over the last 2.5 decades that I insist I have enough liars in my life and I'm not open to adding any more to the manifest. So,
The manifest.
you know, so
My mental health squad, so to speak, my mental health team, I'm like, keep me accountable, man. Like, what am I not seeing? I say this all the fucking time. What am I not seeing? I want to work on it. I want to excavate.
I'm fully in my part now of like what I'm not seeing is my own insanity, taking the same action and expecting a different result.
Yeah.
I keep returning to this person hoping that this time it'll be different. But like the only thing that will, as Julia's brother said, time heals everything. Nothing but time. Nobody changes overnight, myself included. So if I'm to learn to trust these people again, it's going to take a lot of time and it will take effort on their part now because now they've told a lie and that is really disorienting. And I'm not going to believe when they say which way is up, that's up. I'm going to have to investigate now. And that's fucking lame. I'm willing to do it, but like that's where we are now. Is you're that person now,
I related to Gertie so hard to the point where like it was like that mime thing, mirroring each other. I looked at my husband last night when we were watching and I was like, oh my fucking God, I have so much to talk about tomorrow night when I record with Margie. He's like, yeah, you do. Yes. Same fucking issues. Shall we?
Let's do it. Let's get into
this?
our
Yes.
Real Housewives of Miami. And because you're back on your notes game, I didn't write down the title. I did it once in our whole fucking
I love it.
run on this show.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I appreciated it. This is The Real Housewives of Miami, Season 7, Episode 9, Preppy Pretty People.
I'm in for some alliteration. Short, sweet, rule of threes, little alliteration, fine.
Absolutely. It's fine. It's all fine. So Larsa can't get her kids on the phone. Marysol and Julia sit down to lunch and make some small talk. The first scene in earnest is Adriana, Basquiat, and Lisa. Adriana has taken Basquiat.
Her dog, just so everyone's clear. Her dog is Basquiat. That's his name.
Is it Bichon Frisee? What are they called?
I think that's right.
Frisee? But that's a lettuce. A Bichon. Oh, who fucking cares, man? She takes Bosky to this establishment where apparently dogs who are, I cannot believe the words that I'm about to say. I can't believe I'm stringing these words together in a sentence.
This is why we watch Housewives, for strings of words like you're about to say. Ready, go.
There is an establishment in Miami where you can take your dog who is going to be neutered in to uh, get its respective rocks off one last time before said rocks are surgically removed.
Lisa said it. It's a brothel for dogs. I kind of hated it a lot. And are you breeding? Is the dog that's there spayed so she's not at risk of getting pregnant? Like, what are we doing? What is the point of this place?
I've talked about the Salt Place in Utah. I would rather go to 10. I would rather buy a frequent flyer fucking punch card. You know, like, hey, you get 10 visits for the price of 9 if you come to our salt thing. I'd be like, fuck yes, sign me up as long as I never, ever, ever have to be on the same block as a place that's going to let my dog F another dog before I get his balls cut off.
I would have dinner at the Quiet Woman every night for a year before I would set foot in a place where you put 2 dogs in a pen and just wait for them to do it. That is a weird business plan. What episode of Shark Tank did I miss where Mark Cuban was like, yes, this is weird.
It's so weird. It is. We've seen some stuff too on these shows. We have seen some stuff.
And it did make me laugh that Adriana dressed up Basquiat. He was wearing like a full Burberry suit, accessorized with sunglasses and a gold chain. So he was like dressed like a douche going out for a one-night stand.
I didn't even clock that.
He was in a full outfit. The whole scene was insane. It was a fever dream.
The one thing that you might be shocked to hear me say this, but my heart cracked a little bit for Hochstein in this scene. Yes, you just shook your head and went, what? Like essentially that was, yes.
Basically did a Scooby-Doo take to camera.
You did.
Like, what? Tell me.
I can't remember who said it. Did Adriana say it about Lisa a couple episodes back? She's like, Lisa's not blah, 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 blah. She's just ADHD. And I was like, okay, yeah. But I saw myself. I'm not diagnosing her. I'm just saying that if someone said, oh, Hochstein's been diagnosed or Hochstein was diagnosed with ADHD, I'd be like, okay, I recognize that. Like game recognizes game. The way that she was reading the invite that Marysol sent about the preppy party, she's skimming words, she's not finishing sentences. But mostly it was when she got to the dress code stuff. She has like minimal time to put together a themed outfit. That stuff adds like so much pressure. Okay, I'm not going to speak for Lisa. I'm just saying that like that's what I got out of this scene. First of all, my mouth works. Either my brain works faster than my mouth or my mouth works faster than my brain. But basically they're not on the same fucking axles, okay? These are wheels that are trying to like, you know, free themselves from the fucking car. I don't know what the hell those things are called. I jump all over the place when I'm talking. I can understand if someone doesn't like being on the other side of a conversation with me. I do my best. So when Lisa is like skipping words and skimming through the text, and then she gets to the part where she's going to have to like fucking come up with a costume on like 5 minutes time. And it's hard, especially when I know Lisa likes getting dressed up. I like getting dressed up. She likes clothes. I like clothes. Preppy party, that's not in my fucking wheelhouse. Like, what the hell is that? You know, like it's if someone asked me to dress up. You know what? I don't even have the time or energy to go into a hypothetical right now. But part of the reason why I hate Halloween is because I don't know what the fuck to do.
I hate Halloween, and so I do nothing. I never dress up. Any theme party, I'm out. It's why I would be a terrible cast member on Summer House. Like all the theme parties would make me feel insane. I would be the one to order the Amazon outfit that gives me a full body rash. Like, so I just don't do it anymore. I'm just like, no, I don't do costume parties. I love people who get into it, but I am that person at the costume party that every costume party needs a costume pooper, and that is why you invite Margie McGee. Because I can't. It's exactly what you're saying. The stress is so intense. It either has to be sexy or clever or funny, and also fit the brief, and like it's not fun anymore.
Yes.
It makes me feel insane. I don't want to hang out with anyone. I don't want to be compared. I don't want there to be two of me, the people in the same like I just can't with a costume party. Is that an ADD thing? Is that what you mean? The fixation on the attire?
It could possibly be that, or like the fixation on how do I do it? Like how do I execute what Marysol's asking me to do on like 5 minutes? I know how to get dressed in my closet full of shit. You know? I change out the jewelry depending on what I'm doing, but like I know my go-to outfits. preppy party? Like, what the fuck am I going to do? Now, I know what I would do, but I'm obsessed with like legitimate rugby shirts right now and have been like stalking this one website that makes makes real rugby shirts for real rugby players, you know?
Oh my. Not the ones that we got in the Gap in the 90s.
No, not the one you got at the Gap in the 90s.
I loved
the
my
one
rugby shirts from the Gap.
I loved my Esprit de Corp.
Oh,
My
don't mind
Esprit
if
de
I
Corps.
do.
Listen, I'm old as fuck. So
No,
yes.
but Esprit was like the real deal. The Gap was like knocking off Esprit. That was their inspo. But Esprit was like, they got it right. Their colors were great.
Oh my God.
The width of the stripes on theirs was like better. Yeah.
Amazing.
No,
It was
I know the
amazing.
difference between Esprit and Gap rugby shirts from the 90s.
So that was like my rugby shirt back when I was in junior high, middle school, whatever the fuck they call it now. And so, yes, if I was invited to a preppy party, like I would have been like, oh, well, there's an excuse to get the chunky penny loafer I want from Frida Salvador. Don't listen to me. My point is that it would be hard for me to maybe come up with a Miami outfit. And actually, no, it wouldn't. I would just go vintage Versace. I don't know. But there is a situation in which I'm going to be like, what the fuck am I supposed to do? In how much time? It was mostly the email and the dread. Like, we know that Lisa loves to get dressed up. So if it's like the dread, this is not going to come easy to her. And the stakes are high. I just, my heart felt for Lisa. Projecting 100%. Hey, does that show that I'm doing the work? I'm making progress because I can have some empathy for Hochstein? I'm going to say that that's a yes. I'm going to say that's a yes and give myself a pat on the back.
Sometimes projecting and empathy like share a seat, you know?
Oh, thank you, friend. And I believe you. I believe you when you say that.
I wouldn't, again, I'm not a registered therapist like Adriana, but it seems like that could be true. I do want to mention one last thing about Basquiat. Adriana mentions that Basquiat is 3 years old and is still unneutered. And I just want to say that that's atrocious. They're to get neutered, like 6 months or something, if not before. Anyways, that seems like a crazy amount of time to have a working nutsack. Anyways, Adriana.
Oh my God, I'm disgusted.
Adriana lightly mentions that she's wanting to mend fences with Marysol after calling her a bony-kneed whore on the boat ride. And she said she's not proud of her behavior and she's ready to be accountable and move on. And I thought that was quite a succinct way to let us know that your psychology degree is starting to affect your own behavior. I thought that was pretty advanced for a housewife.
I thought it was great. I really liked it a lot. She said on camera, I regret my behavior.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't have attached balls to even say that shit. I regret my behavior.
They would have just left it at like, I was drinking.
Right.
But she said, I was drinking and I regret my behavior and I'm ready to take accountability and move on. And I thought, yeah, that is a revolution in the Housewives universe.
The only other thing I caught about Adriana, and I agree with you on all of that, but it's like when she says, I'm ready to move on, I'm like, okay, but Marysol was the victim of your heinous, fucking, cruel, disgusting body shaming. So you might be ready to move on, but that's too fucking bad if Marysol isn't in this case.
I had the same exact thought. And then we transition into the next scene, which is Marysol and Julia having lunch. And Marysol says she kept body shaming me. And then Marysol immediately age shames Adriana. She kept calling me an old lady. And I'm like, you're older than me. You're older than me, you old hag. I was like, oh my God. Well, now you just lost all of the goodwill that I had built up for you in that last scene. So team nobody, moving on.
Little bit of ageism, sprinkled with some misogyny. Actually, they're probably both tossed in the same goddamn salad. Yeah, I clocked that too. Not cool.
Just immediate, like on a dime. I was like, dude, all right.
Seriously. So we go back to Adriana and Lisa. And Lisa doesn't like how Julia is forming alliances with Alexia and Marysol because it's leaving Adriana out. And again, in a moment of Lisa, just in this scene, just really coming in with the W's here. Oh, I sound like such a douche saying that. I'm not a sport. Well, I am a sports person, but I'm not like a W coming in with a W. Like, who am I? What the fuck? I tried that on, didn't fit. That's all. Okay, moving on. So, in a moment of curiosity and support of her friend Adriana, Lisa wonders aloud if she's Adriana. Hey, Adriana, I wonder if you seeing Alexia and Marysol like getting closer with Julia, did that make you lash out? Do you think that might have had something to do with it? She didn't just say, yeah, you acted like a bitch, or you were crazy. Girl, you were drunk. She said, this dynamic is shifting and it's new to all of us. I wonder if that informed your choices. Excuse me? Okay, Lisa. I love it. I don't know. I said I don't know, but like, because I just got really self-conscious that I felt so strongly about that. Like maybe it's not that big of a deal.
No, I think both of them are actually like really thoughtful. And Adriana as well saying she doesn't mind Julia being friends with the women, but she doesn't appreciate this kind of hypocritical turn Julia is taking, and it's causing division, and she doesn't seem to care. So, and Adriana even says Julia knows exactly who Marysol is, but all of a sudden she's forgotten all that. Like it's nothing. And then we cut to Julia fully selling out Adriana to Marysol. I hate what she did to you. I don't like what she did. Adriana's lashing out because she feels I'm drifting away from her to you. I keep telling her the only person that can harm our friendship is her. It's just like, dude. Basically, Adriana called it right, and the editors cut to Exhibit A for asshole.
I want Julia to turn the volume up on what I'm about to say. Adriana is not going to be the sole fucking reason that your friendship tanks. You have a part too, Julia. It takes two to tango, and everybody has a role in their relationship. I'm not projecting at all right now. Not even a little bit. JK, well, I'm fully projecting because I'm deeply in this right now. Yeah. I was so mad. I'm so mad hearing Julia say this. Like, I'm offended. She's offensive and clueless.
Well, and she's just full of shit. So like Marysol says that she deals with Adriana by just ignoring her now. And then she asks Julia, what are you going to do to move forward with Gertie? And Julia very dramatically says like, well, for our friendship, that's the ship has sailed, but we can definitely be cordial. And I'm just like, I don't believe what you're saying. You don't believe what you're saying. Like you're presenting a character for Marysol to approve of, and you're failing. It's weird and really uncomfortable and unpleasant.
We see you, Julia. We see you.
Yeah, we don't hate you.
We see you.
But we see you.
We don't hate you, but we see you. Dude.
Yeah, and then Marysol notes that the whole group is kind of splintered right now. Alexia and Stephanie are having this conflict too. And Marysol says, I feel like everyone needs some therapy in this group. And that I would have rolled credits right there on this episode. Just like, let it lie. That's it. Yes, everyone needs therapy. Everyone in this cast and anywhere else. We all need support.
Literally everyone.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And then Marysol says she wants to plan a trip to distract Alexia from her Todd drama. She's been an emotional roller coaster. And Marysol says every day it's a new story. And we get that flashback to Alexia scream sobbing at a dinner party. You guys have to help me. I can't go back to this guy. He's a fucking monster. And meanwhile, in present day, Todd is her everything. And they FaceTime Alexia to tell her they want to plan a trip to Spain. And she's all in. She just has to be back by November 18th because the 19th is Todd's birthday. So we go from a clip of her screaming, he's a monster, to like, oh, I'll go to Spain, but only if I can return for a monster's birthday. Thanks, guys.
Like, I understand from firsthand experience more than one time, more than two times, more than three times. I know how hard it is to leave someone that you know is literally detrimental to your fucking well-being. You know that. Your friends know that. You need to look them in the eye. And they're going to be like, what are you doing? And you're like, They don't hate you, but they see you. I did hate myself, and I saw myself. So I know that. I know what it's like to be her, but like, I didn't know what it was like to be her and have a Frankie. if my son was to watch the person that was living with me pack up in front of him while I wasn't there and then leave after he was completely used to this person being in our lives, like a father figure, for Christ's sake, I would not be able to live with myself by bringing that person in and spending time with them.
Well, and also Frankie saw her break down.
Yes.
She was sobbing. She was like, he sat with her through that. And then now everyone's supposed to just be like, this is fine. And, you know, we see in the previews at the end of this that Peter's not having it. He's like, nah, dude. You know, like,
I mean, Peter isn't having it.
it's her son. Like, that is a case of like, I see you and I might hate you.
Yeah.
Cause like
Yeah.
that family has enough trauma. You're going to add this to it. Yikesies.
Oh, Alexia. Oh, abandon hope, I guess. I don't know. Who knows? Expect a miracle, right? Anyway, I understand that a change of location can be a distraction, but when you're in your hotel room at night, or even when your friend sitting across the table is talking to you, and all you want to do is look at your phone to see if they've texted, or all you're doing before you fall asleep is thinking about, like, are they missing me right now? Blah, 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 blah.
Or in her case, it's probably like, is he mad at me right now?
Oh,
Is
gross.
he gonna like? It's such a.
Is he gonna, is he gonna fucking leave again?
Relationship.
Right?
Yes.
It's completely unstable. So, but it's like these ladies are cute thinking that a geographic change of scenery is going to actually do anything. Yeah, it's just hilarious. This is why we want to go on vacation, to distract Alexia from Todd for a week. Good luck.
And then we get a meanwhile, and we cut back to the dog brothel for, you know, whatever, to witness penetration. And like,
God.
I just was so uncomfortable. I didn't find it funny. I was like, can we let this storyline die? Because I hate everything about
I did
all
not
of
sign up
this.
for this on Housewives.
Not this. A bridge too far, man.
Yeah, never again. Thanks so much. Don't need it.
I'll do scro talks on the valley all day, but I
Oh my
cannot do
God.
another dog brothel.
Yes, I agree. Bookmark that for when we get to watch what did we watch this week. So bookmark that.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. I thought you'd be happy
Oh.
for me. So Alexia thanks them, and she said they're really good friends to do this for her. But Marysol comes in, I'm sure with the best intentions, but also this is not necessarily going to be a successful. I would go into this with very low expectations, Marysol. There's one caveat: no talking about Todd, no talking about men. Good luck with that. Also, like, you can try to control the situation. This is out of your depth, Marysol. Like, no one, a force greater than, you know, it's going to take something like the ocean to stop that from happening. But I was just like, pat, pat, pat. Oh, I had that feeling like, oh, Marysol. Yeah, that's not going to work, honey. That's not going to work. And Marysol says that she's hopeful, but deep down, not really. Thank God. I guess she can put it out there, like, no talking about Todd, but knowing.
Yeah, you can
There's gonna
set
be
the
talk about
boundary and
Todd,
then watch
right?
it get trampled.
Right.
Then we have this great scene where Gertie FaceTimes her friend, Dr. Jackie from Married to Medicine. And I haven't watched Married to Medicine, but this scene made me want to immediately watch every episode because Dr. Jackie, like, is Yoda. She basically gave like a TED Talk and a sermon and a 12-step meeting and a therapy session all in one in
100%.
this scene. I couldn't write down everything she said fast enough. She is a 2-time breast cancer survivor, and we get a flashback of her saying, breast cancer awareness isn't a month for me. It's every day. And I was like, oh
Yep.
my God.
Yep.
And
Yep.
Gertie reports to her that her cancer recovery is affecting her intimacy with Russell. And Dr. Jackie is going to hook her up with a care package full of, her words, fun, juicy lube.
Loved it.
I love it. And she reminds Gertie that breast cancer recovery is a layered process and tells Gertie that so many people are watching her and look to her and think, you don't look like what you've been through. And I thought that is the most piercing quote for it, like with mental health stuff too, and people's trauma and histories. Like, you don't look like what you've been through. I was talking to a friend about this earlier this week. It's like things like depression or anxiety, you look the same often going through those illnesses, but The recovery is the same as if you shattered your ankle. You would go and get surgery. You would get a cast. You would get the cast off and get an air cast. Then you would go to physical therapy. Then you would slowly start stretching and exercising. Then you would build back to what your ankle used to be able to do. But with depression or anxiety, because it doesn't look like anything, you don't look like what you've been through. So people are just like, she's fine. He's fine. It's like, they're not fine. If they had I wish there was a way for people to signify where they were in pulling themselves out of those deep holes if you're prone to such things. If you're in the cast phase or the air cast phase, or if you're in PT or just like lightly limping, taking it easy. Like, I hope people give themselves like time and space and grace to heal. Yeah, because Gertie doesn't look like what she's been through. She looks fucking fabulous, to the point where her housewife friends group, they give her no space to be a breast cancer survivor and someone who maybe took too big of a swing at a party she hosted by projecting text messages. They've forgotten that she's been through a terrifying diagnosis and a horrific treatment plan that is very hard on a body, mind, and soul. So
when I would tell people that had known me for a while, like I have depression, they'd be like, what? But you don't seem depressed. And I'm like, you don't know what it looks like. Like it doesn't look like a fucking broken bone. I don't have a cast on. You can't tell that I'm masking for my life. I'm like tap dancing behind my eyes, like for my fucking survival, This whole scene was so striking. I mean, you're right. It pierced me over and over. So Dr. Jackie tells her that Gertie looks wonderful. She's using her platform to give back. And then Gertie says some shit that spoke to the soul of my soul, like the essence of who I am, my seed from which I sprouted. She said, oh, I might cry. The people around me the most right now are not that supportive. There's just no empathy. And here it comes right here. Or want or need to understand. I repeat, there's no want or need to understand. Oh, pierced me. Talk about piercing. That's what pierced me.
And she says the group refuses to be open to the possibility that I may have a point here. And I feel like that is, I just wrote, yep, I co-sign that. The group is absolutely not open to the possibility that Gertie has a point.
I really do believe Gertie and I talked to Josh about this last night. I feel like Gertie and I are cut from the same bolt of cloth. If not, our fabrics are in the same part of the fabric store. You know what I mean? Like I get her so hard. So I know all too well, like the joys and the dangerously vulnerable pitfalls of being an emotional creature like Gertie. And though our respective traumas are different in like circumstances, as far as I know, we both have this like insatiable need to be heard, seen, and understood.
But that's human. I feel like that's human nature,
But it's like when that doesn't happen to me, I feel like, oh my God, what is the point?
But I think because you offer that to everyone who you encounter. And so I think it is more painful when it's not reciprocated, But you give that to people so freely.
I do.
So it is notable when it's not returned.
And I think that it's not a stretch for me to be vulnerable and tell you about my feelings. Like right away. They're usually on the surface, especially now. I've just been practicing for a long time. I don't want to not know what's going on. I want to know what's going on. I might not do anything about it, but I want to know. You know what I mean? And I'm willing to be uncomfortable now for like hours, days, months. Like that's just what I've practiced for a long, long time. So I really think that it can be very threatening and scary for people that don't have access to their emotional vocabulary or just ways to communicate their feelings, like even with themselves. So someone like Gertie is real scary. You know, I don't want to say that I'm scary. I don't want to say that. I don't want to pathologize anybody who is emotional and expresses their emotions. Like my voice is not even keel. My voice goes all over the place depending on how ferociously attached I feel to something that I'm talking about. When I'm happy, when I'm sad, when I'm excited, when I'm terrified. You know where I fucking stand unless I'm working real hard because I feel real scared. And then I'm going to be the rock. I'm an island. But that's a whole other conversation. I'm just saying that, like, on paper, all those other ladies, they might not rock the boat. But when Gertie starts expressing feelings and emotionality and observations and like, hey, I don't understand this, and pushing back, like wanting to connect, when you have that insatiable need, it's because you want your humanity to meet that other person's humanity. And when they don't meet you and you're vulnerable, it's like, oh my fucking God. And these women are supposed to be her friends. And instead of meeting her with respect, curiosity, being a fucking safe goddamn space, being a refuge, a harbor in the storm, I don't need to make any more comparisons. They don't like it. They can't give her that.
It's worse than that. They throw water in her face and they say, your behavior was awful, Gertie. It's worse than just like general ignoring. It's like aggressively, painfully awful. And this is why Dr. Jackie rules, because she says struggles make you stronger. And when they're not understanding who you are, maybe say thank you. And Gertie reiterates, like, yeah, turn around and thank your haters. And this is that 12-step, baseline thing of acceptance is the answer to all my problems. It is the equivalent, the Bravo equivalent of that is Paige DeSorbo. I don't hate you, but I see you. That is Bravo shorthand for acceptance is the answer to all my problems. A lot of people in 12-step rooms, you choose a higher power of your choosing to help support you in surrendering self-destructive behaviors or whatever. And a lot of people's higher power is reality. It's just like, what is the truth in this situation? I'm going to let that be the guide here. And the truth is, a couple of these women suck. And that may mean I don't get to be close to them in the way I once was or in a way that I want to be. Fuck.
Yeah.
I can thank my haters. Thank you for showing me who you are, so I stop asking things from you that you do not have to give,
So I stopped being shocked when you destroy me with a few sentences, when you destroy me by like meeting my feelings with judgment and a face that's like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, that's what they all do to her. They just like, oh my God, Gertie, what?
This is where Dr. Jackie rules, though, because she says there's just as much power in the ugly parts of life as there are in the pretty parts. And I was like, oh my God, Dr. Jackie. And she says, that's why you see a big windshield in the front and a small rearview mirror. And I literally was like, keep talking. Like, she was making everything make sense to me in my life. I was like, who is Dr. Jackie and why does she not she probably has a talk show or a radio show or something that I should be listening to. But like everything in this scene, I could watch this scene on a daily basis and like, it's like a meditation for me.
Totally.
There's just as much power in the ugly parts of life as there is in the pretty parts. That's why you see a big windshield in the front and a small rear view mirror. And I have that reversed in my head where my rear view mirror is as big as the windshield and blocking the view of what's ahead because I'm fixated on fixing or understanding or whatever the past. And it's past, baby. It exists, but it's scaled wrong in my car. I need to fix it. I need to switch out my rearview mirror for something right-sized.
My note was, motherfuck, I need to print that out and paste it up all over my house.
Mm-hmm.
It's so true. And I so appreciated her putting it in a visual that I could understand. Like, I think I was like, whoa. Did you fucking hear that? Like, that is some shit. Like, that is on a page of a meditation book that's been like published and like is a bestseller. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying. So Yeah, man.
Dr. Jackie.
That rearview mirror is the cause of a lot of pain for me, what I see in it, what I focus on it.
It is, but I just like the concept of perspective. It's not that you're not to look at it or that it's not to be there. It's just that it's so much smaller. It's not even that I have to see what's ahead of me. I just have to look at the scale. Look how big the windshield is compared to how small the rearview mirror is. So what's ahead of me fills this space and what's behind me fills this space. And I lose that because I'm like, what is ahead of me? I can't see what's ahead of me. What is on the map and when do I get there? And it's like, it doesn't matter. All that matters is what's behind you is little now. And so what's ahead of you, you can put your attention there.
Oh my God, Margie. I'm
Not
really...
me, Dr. Jackie.
No, I know. But the fact that like I was like ready to beat myself up. No, I was low key beating myself up for looking in the rearview mirror too much and making that as big as the windshield. And you were like, wait. No, it's just scale. And I was like, oh, okay. It's just scale, Ramona. It's just scale. Thank you for the perspective you shared that helped me let myself not off the hook, but like, oh yeah, you don't need to beat yourself up about this shit too, dude. You're all, oh, well, not perfect yet.
Yeah.
Anyway, do you have anything else to say about the
No,
Dr. Jackie
I'm just
Curdy
dreading
scene?
this weird ass dinner.
Oh my God, this is the dinner from hell. And so it's Stephanie, Masoud, Julia, and Martina. And the four of them are having dinner. They catch up. Stephanie asks how the boys are doing. We learn, Martina shares that the boys still cry when she and Julia are leaving, but then they get distracted. And I just like, I get this. I do. And I know that I'm like triggered by what Martina said because of my own stuff. But I really, really hope that Martina and Julia spend some time on the ground at Luca and Jackson's eye level and tell them something like, oh, we're having feelings right now because we're leaving. Can you tell me a little bit about those? I wonder if you're scared. I wonder if you're feeling like we're not going to come back. I can imagine that feels really overwhelming for you. I want to remind you of all the times we did come back and that we cannot wait to come back again. And I want to give you a hug right now and tell you how much I love you. I hope it's not just an impatient situation that Martina was saying that like, oh, but then they get distracted and it's like, fine. Maybe I overreact to what Martina says because I don't like her, obviously, but also like, I'm not fluent, nor do I speak even a sentence of fucking former Soviet bloc, Eastern European, Olympian mindset. She's like talking to like a fucking ET at this point to me. Like, I don't know how the hell to relate to her, you know? So I could be overreacting. I could be projecting, but that's what we do here on A Therapeutic Dose.
Yeah. And speaking of projecting, at the very beginning of this scene, it does feel like this is Stephanie's like flex for her daddy husband to introduce him to, she has access to Martina, who clearly Masoud is like weirdly obsessed with. As the scene goes on, I get really grossed out by him. But yeah, Stephanie is like so giddy to be like, and here she is, sweetheart. Here's Martina. I delivered her to you because I'm rich and powerful and a boss too. I do a lot of working things. And Masoud hugs Martina and says, finally. And I was like, ew, like this is already off to a weird start. And it does not get less weird as the night goes on. Because after this conversation about the boys that you just talked about, Stephanie's question to Martina is, how old are you going to be when the boys are 20? And I was like, that's so fucking rude, first of all. And second of all, it's grim. So I'm glad you brought this up at dinner, because we find out Martina is 68 now. So when the boys are 20, she will be 88 plus or 6 feet under. So thanks for bringing this up at dinner, Stephanie. What a strange and dumb question to ask.
It felt like a little jabby to me.
Yeah, because her follow-up was like, well, I turned 40 this week. 40. And it's like you're talking to someone 28 years older than you, who just has, who has toddlers in her house. Like, can you focus on like these boys having like a safe home and a loving space to, goats to play with and shit, instead of like, are you going to be here when they're 20? And also, Martina just recovered from 2 kinds of cancer. So don't ask someone who just stared down death's doorstep if they're going to be here. Like, what is wrong with Stephanie?
So many things, Margaret.
She's really,
so many things.
This episode, I was really like, get her off the screen. I'm sick of her now.
I know. Oh, God. And then Masoud starts to fanboy Martina. I don't really give a shit. Yeah, I don't care. Do you have anything of note to say about their conversation?
It's Stephanie's toast was the
Yeah, dude, say we bagged the best. Speak for your fucking self, because hard pass on all fucking 4 of you.
I'm glad they love their partners, but like I would have a hard time raising my glass to the 2 of them on that toast.
Oh my God. Ew, I'm not gonna be like, oh, I bagged Josh Higgins. Like, that's disgusting.
But
it's
I think
fucking gross.
But that's Stephanie's relationship with Masoud. She's like, again, it's her daddy husband. She's like trying to please him, trying to be subservient while also being a boss, using her connects to get him in touch with someone he's, a fan of. Like, it just, none of it feels relaxed or real. She is just one long performance piece, and I'm bored of her. I'm uncomfortable I'm not even like, I can't be bored because I'm so ill at ease with her on my screen.
So then I get enraged as fuck at both Julia and Stephanie. So Stephanie, tells them that she has twin sisters, but they don't speak the same language. And I wrote, don't say that. Your saying that means you don't see your part in your dynamic with them. We don't speak the same language. What she's basically saying is, I don't fucking get them. I don't get them, and they're too gnarly. And yes, we have the background of the scene that we saw with her parents. And I will never erase it from my brain because I thought it was disgusting. Because they're sensitive. We don't speak the language because they're sensitive, Stephanie has said. And then she says that she's not trying to make the vibe depressing. And then Julia comes in and says, oh, no, don't worry about it because we're going through a rough time, too, with our older daughters because of our new family dynamic. Okay, I smell bullshit, Julia, but please go on. In her confessional, she says that the adoption of the boys came as a big surprise to Vika and Emma. They haven't met the boys yet, and they're upset with us for not communicating enough. Do you think, Julia? Is that what you think? She is completely and willfully ignoring her part in this dynamic with her daughters right now. They're upset with us instead of, I hurt their feelings by not being more open and communicative about what we were planning to do with our family. We fucked up by not keeping them in this extremely critical loop. This is a major family change. I didn't do it right. But instead, they're upset with us. Fuck all the way off. Fuck parents like this. I'm literally shooting up my middle fingers right now because I'm so mad. I was disgusted and enraged. She keeps framing it like, unfortunately, we're not in the best place with them. Taking the responsibility off of herself and her role in why they're in that situation. Instead of saying, because of my actions and my lack of communication with them, they're taking space from me. I blew it and I need to work to repair so that they feel like they can trust me again.
Or even like the intermediary step of like, I understand why they're upset. I'm not sure I could or would have done anything different, but I can understand why this is hard on them. Like, it made me think of my friend who transitioned. Like, I would still on occasion I'll misgender him and I'll always go like, I'm so sorry. And he always says, it's your transition too. It's your transition too. I think that is like this most generous offering. And it's like, I always say about, my friends who are going through divorces, I'm like, your kids are going through this divorce too. Just because you're doing the paperwork and you're at the law firm, your children are experiencing a divorce. So like, if their behavior is weird or if they're regressing or doing stuff like that, you're signing paperwork, but they are experiencing a divorce. And like, I just wish Julia would just give them space. It is a lot to take in. And if they want to have children of their own, that means Julia and Martina won't be available as grandparents in a way they probably imagine. So they just have to reimagine what the future will look like. Because Julia and Martina are going to spend Martina's certainly the rest of her life raising young children and young adults. And also, I do wonder, she said something about like her daughters wanted them to be more communicative. And I'm like, did you not communicate at all? Is that the problem? Did you spring this on them? Did they have to read it in People magazine? Were they invited to the Zoom call where you told all the women like this? I do wonder, like, did you just cross your fingers and hope they'd receive it well instead of including them in the process of, not that it would have changed any decision, but just to like the respect and dignity of inviting the whole family into the information session. I don't know.
Oh,
Yeah, Julia just gets more and more unsympathetic as the season goes on. I can't stand her.
her vagueness and the way she phrased all of this stuff was a feature, not a bug. This was intentional. She is so, I don't care for this woman at all. I feel for her kids. I just do. I don't know them. I might not care for them in real life, but like I can't, when you're dealing with a parent like a Tamara or a Julia, I'm going to side with them children all the time. I just am. And I'm projecting and I'm layering all my shit onto these people that I don't know. But I feel confident in my bones that the reason why I have such a strong reaction to Julia or such a strong reaction to someone like Tamara, I know everyone has them, but like where I take it personally, I take their behavior personally, is because I've been there. I've been bullshitted by an adult that I'm supposed to trust and who's supposed to like be on the up and up with me. So I can see through it, dude. Don't look at us in your confessional, Julia, and just like say all these words. You're such an idiot, dude. Oh, I'm mad now. I'm heated. Now I'm heated. I had to put myself on mute. Take a sip of water.
Well, and I got a little sad for Martina because she got weepy saying that this is time you don't get back. Like apparently the rift with the daughters is big enough that, well, I'm just saying she just faced her own mortality. She's 68 years old. She doesn't have, none of us know how much time we have, but I felt for Martina in this moment. This would be a lovely moment for the family to be a unit, healing from 2 kinds of cancer, pushing 70 with new kids in the house. Like, I don't know. I felt like her voice sounded authentically emotional when she said, this is time you don't get back. And she didn't seem to say it in a like, so fuck them way. It just seemed like this is a hard moment in time because of all those reasons I said before.
I didn't hear the tone in her voice. I didn't hear her emotionality, but I believe you that it happened. I just feel like she was saying that because it's something that generation says. You know, you can't get that time back. Like, listen, bitch, I don't want my fucking time back with someone that treats me like shit and who fucking lies to me and who can't be communicative with me. I don't think there's any problem with that. And I don't know that everyone will have regrets not being with a toxic
But
person
we're not
in their
68.
life.
I just feel like there's something that comes with that stage of life. Again, maybe it's because I'm close with aging parents right now. There is a stage of life thing that shifts perspective.
Yes, that makes sense.
The time when you're 68, you're stoked if you get 12 good years. Do you know what I mean? Like, and I don't know. I felt for her. I don't know. Yeah. And maybe it's also because like family stuff is so, it's just,
The most fraught shit on the goddamn planet.
And also the most important to me. It's the stuff that I think about most often, the stuff I care about the most. And anyways, Stephanie wants Julia just to nip this in the butt, she says. Nip it in the bud, but nobody cares. And then Stephanie compares this to her sisters not speaking to her parents and makes this stupid blanket statement. Well, if it goes on for a year or more, it'll be too late. And I just want to assure Stephanie and everyone else that nobody can say how long it makes sense for people to take space or when or what will bring people back together. So it is not worth forcing connection when it's not ready to be made. As human beings, we're allowed to have feelings that cause separation, and then we heal or change and return or not. the fact that you're just supposed to like suck it up and spend time with your family no matter what. It's like, it's okay if you're like offended or scarred or hurt and need to process some of that and change your approach for your next attempt at being a member of your own family.
I bet that there's AI out there that have more understanding of humans and the human condition than Stephanie does. I don't want anything she has, man. I don't want nothing she has, not in any way, shape, or form, physically, emotionally, spiritually, mentally, whatever. Nothing about her is appealing to me. Least of all, her fractured way of looking at relationships with people. You know what? Dr. Jackie, thank you for the haters. Thank you for my haters, because I can't imagine Stephanie would like my brand of people, but that's okay. I can see and reaffirm what is a priority for me in my relationships, and I don't have to be her in a relationship.
Well, and Stephanie's like demonstrating exactly what Gertie was talking about being her pain point, which is like, I don't hear Stephanie trying to understand what at all has her sisters so upset that they've separated from the family. Again, understanding it doesn't mean you have to do anything about it. It doesn't mean you have to agree with it. It just means that you care enough to wonder what cuts so deep that they won't even communicate. That goes a long way, at least with someone like me. If someone just cares to understand me, even if they are still on a wildly different side of an issue or whatever. And I like to do that. I like to understand the other side. And I either get more fired up about my position, which lets me know I need to I need to continue keeping distance, or I soften and see a way to connect, even if we have differing views on something. But I don't know. I just don't like this trite shit of like, well, if you wait a year and a half, it's going to be too long and then it's all over and no one can heal. So I hope you're happy throwing away your family. Anyways, what's for dessert? Like, how dare you? It's so cold.
Here's my wall of Birkins. I don't talk to my sisters because they're sensitive.
I hope your money keeps you warm at night, and I hope Masood never falls ill, and I hope he lives forever, because your whole identity is tied up in this moment in time, with both of you healthy, both of you rich, and both of you here. Like, I don't want to take a look at that relationship in 10 years. I don't know.
You know how at the end we always say, like, take good care of yourselves? This week, I want to invite everyone to just get curious about the people that you're close to every single day. You know, like if they say something like, tell me more about that. Like, just try it on. Just see. Just see. It's especially hard when you're maybe in a disagreement with someone to be like, I hear XYZ in your voice. I'd love to know more. Can you please, are you willing to share more? That's it. And watch that person fucking soften. Watch you become on the same team again instead of feeling like adversaries. Just watch it. Just an experiment. Just see if it happens or don't. It's no big deal. Just be loving. That's all I'm asking. Just be loving to yourself. So Julia tells Stephanie they're going to go to Seville to get Alexia away from Todd. And Stephanie says she's going to take her plane and invites Julia right away. Yay. And then she and Julia go to the bar to like have a little side conversation. And Stephanie says, listen, Alexia and I don't get along. And I don't want you, Julia, to defend a bully. Your friend Alexia is a bully. Don't defend her. And Julia is confident that she and Alexia can overcome this. Yeah. Julia, listen, don't sell it no more, okay? Sell us something else. Sell us the eggs. Sell us like on the fucking radness of owning goats. But do not try to sell me on anything having to do with working out a conflict, okay? Because I am not interested in what you are selling.
And also, she's completely blind to who she is, because Stephanie says, stop making excuses for a bully. And Julia says, I never make excuses for anyone. I'm like, oh, really? Because I recall you finding a lot of reasons why it was okay that you yelled at Gertie and threw water in her face. And that Captain Sandy was a big enough reason for that to be an okay thing that you did, that you still haven't apologized for in clear language in any meaningful way. So I beg to differ. I do think you make excuses for lots of people. And then we cut back over to the table where Masood is absolutely like leching out on Martina. And I was so uncomfortable. And he goes in a creepy voice, he's like, "You were in very good shape." And Martina looks taken aback. And as any woman who's found herself in this situation where unexpectedly someone is unwelcomely making a comment that's not, it's meant as a compliment, but it feels gross. But Masood does not read the room, and he continues. He's like, I'll never forget looking at your arms. And Martina quickly tries to redirect it, going like, well, my arms are what attracted Julia to me. And Masood is not even hearing her at all. He's just like, oh, God, I don't know what he was seeing in his head, but it was so uncomfortable. It was some weird, gross fantasy, and I felt trapped for Martina in that moment. I was like, oh, my God, what a terrible conversation to have with this weirdo.
Problematic men unraveling Martina Navratilova.
That's how bad it must have been. Ugh.
God. Oh, I don't want to abandon hope, y'all who enter here, but like, God, come on, men. I know you can do it. I know you can. You just got to work a little bit hard.
Plenty of them do. Plenty do.
100%.
Yes, there are lots of wonderful guys, but Masood is, he is a type. And he is a generation, and he is, but that was the generation that they weren't informed that that's gross and it's not well received. They assume any compliment is received favorably, like nice tits or you should wear a bikini more often, like all those, like whatever. They just weren't informed, and we weren't empowered to tell them like, hey, that's actually more gross than lovely. So like, you can think that, but maybe just kind of keep it to yourself. Because, anyways.
I hate to break it to you, friend, but the most prolific podcasters that attract young men are absolutely like fostering younger generations to continue this
I know, but I think
behavior.
about like the young men in my family and in my life, and I don't want them to get discouraged by there's a narrative that they receive that's not for them about like men are gross, men are pigs, women hate men, and like they're working really hard and they're really whole human beings and they exist too. And I just don't want, because my fear is that if those boys aren't addressed, they slip into the manosphere because they don't feel welcome in the world. Do you know what I mean?
I do. I hear what you're saying.
Yeah, I just want them to know that like they're seen and appreciated.
Yes.
And that Masood is a type and not representative of all, or my feelings as I express them about Masood are not representative of my feelings of all men giving a compliment of any kind.
Hashtag not all men. I promise you that. Yes. Yes. I hear what you're saying. I'm speaking in broad generalizations right here. So can we leave these people? Can we leave these four wretched souls?
Yes, let's go see everyone's wretched fashion at Marysol's preppy party. What happened?
The bags that say prep, the green ones, they look cheap. They looked real cheap.
The basket looked cheap too. I was surprised. But the flowers were lovely. You know I love a hydrangea.
You do. I love a hydrangea too. It's like so much on one stem. Like, oh yeah, I love it. Thank you. I love the grass going down the middle. I like put that little tablescape in my, the file of facts that I absolutely cannot rely on in my brain. But yeah, just because you can doesn't mean you should. Yes, you can order a bunch of bullshit that say prep on it. That's going to end up being given away or thrown away. Come on, Marysol.
That whole party favor is landfill central.
Honestly.
Not one of them is keeping that like impractical basket. And yeah, no.
No. I did appreciate this when Marysol in her confessional says, I hope ketamine Adriana shows up. And then we see the flashback of Adriana doing her ketamine-assisted psychotherapy last season, saying she's floating, floating, floating. I have a recording upstairs that I just listened to a couple days ago where I'm like, wee, when I was doing my ketamine-assisted psychotherapy. So shout out to ketamine-assisted psychotherapy. I'm sorry. Alexia shows up, and this is an example of the clothes wearing the person and not the person wearing the clothes. I'm not saying she doesn't look cute. I'm just saying this outfit looked extremely unnatural on her. Even if Alexia is dressed down for Alexia. Like her sweatpants, her casual outfits to like maybe go run out and get a coffee, that looks more natural on her than this flat fucking loafer.
In fairness to her, she did say, I feel like preppy in Miami is not a thing.
It's not a thing.
And I think she's right. Because not a single one of them, it all looked off.
Marysol looked fantastic.
Yeah.
She made me want that outfit. She made me want that fucking Lacoste vest. What? But she looked so adorable. And I thought Adriana looked cute, but it's still like Clueless. Why is Clueless preppy? I don't understand. Am I missing it because it's a matching whatever? It doesn't matter. This is not what anybody
Like you said,
called.
they were on a limited time budget,
Yes.
and preppy is not a thing in Miami. It's not like there's a store you can go to. They took swings. They tried. And Marysol tells us that she chose this preppy theme in honor of her father, who was from Connecticut, and he was a sailor. And then we see a photo of him sailing, and he literally, do you remember the Gorton's Fisherman?
Yes, he looked just
From
like
the
him.
fish sticks. He literally the same posture, the same yellow foul weather gear. I was dying. I was like, oh my God, your dad is Gorton. And then Marysol reports that Kiki had told her that Gertie referred to them, Marysol, Alexia, and Julia, as a cult. And Alexia is offended by this. And Gertie arrives yelling, "I come in peace," which was just, again, the saddest expression. Like, how sad that you have to show up and announce that you're like... But I guess after you just projected text messages, you might anticipate people are on edge. I don't know. It's fine.
Right? But Julia threw fucking water on her. Like, if I were Gertie, I would come in with an umbrella like, hi, I'm just prepared this time, but I'm not like that. I am like Gertie. I've got to change me. I've got to dull down me. I've got to make you feel safe with me so that I get accepted by this group. She had to like change for them.
And bringing the party favors and bringing a wedding present. And then Marysol tells Gertie that about this planned trip to Seville, and Gertie says she loves Spain. She studied there and she's obsessed with it. And Marysol passive-aggressively wonders if Gertie feels comfortable even coming if she thinks they're a cult. And then we get into this whole conversation, and Gertie again has to explain to them again that she felt hurt and unheard. And she said, and I thought this was very profound, she said, everyone has the same voice and everyone has Julia's back. It is like a cult. And I was like, you are correct. And Alexia, again, in an extreme example of not listening at all, responds by saying, do you even want to be a part of this friend group? And it's like, did you hear what she just said? Could you think of a follow-up question more meaningful? Like, what did you hear us saying? And or how did you interpret that we all spoke with one voice? Or what about us feels no. Just like, do you even want to be in this friend group anymore? It's like, you guys are terrible.
She was waiting to say that the entire time Gertie was talking. I would bet a lot on that. I would bet things that are very precious to me, material things, not my people, but I'm just saying the things I would bet just are emblematic of how sure I am that Alexia was just waiting to get that out. So even though literally Gertie is saying, you don't hear me, she's like, do you want to be part of this friend group? Like, are you fucking kidding? Gertie, run. Like, don't. Dr. Nicole, come on. Come back. Come back as an ally. Come on.
And Gertie gets emotional. She's saying, again, Gertie, who is still in recovery, still considering surgeries for her treatment and successful recovery from breast cancer, you guys. She's saying, I'm just trying to keep it simple right now. I don't have time for this shit. And that's where I think she and Martina do share that perspective of like, when you've stared down death's door, you start to want to resolve shit. And I can't imagine how frustrating it is when you've like had a brush with death and people are fighting you about something like how wrong it was for Julia to throw water in your face. And Marysol just reduces this to like, well, just leave us out of the semantics. And I'm like, breast cancer is not a semantic. It's a part of this conversation. Nothing happens in a vacuum. Like, give her the benefit of the doubt, for fuck's sake. Don't assume that she doesn't want to be in this friend group and that she thinks you're an actual cult and she doesn't feel comfortable on a vacation. Give her the benefit of the doubt that she's just gone through something like you literally cannot imagine what it's like. So why don't you like let the lady have like, I don't know, a little space.
And then in her confessional, Marysol says, I'm not living in Gertie land. I don't know what she's talking about. Like, fuck you.
So rude.
And then has the audacity to say, I suspect Julia will accept this tiny bit of remorse from Gertie. What? Who gives a shit what Julia will accept or not? You say sorry for the fucking water and mean it, bitch.
And can you also be like, can you be grateful that Gertie is here to offer remorse? She had breast cancer, you fucks, a minute ago. She spent the summer before this season, months ago, getting certain. Like, what is wrong with you people? I'm just like, I'm shocked and disgusted. Talk about narcissism. They're so self-centered that they cannot, because Gertie is not like a walking mastectomy, then I guess it didn't happen. And she's, whatever. Thank the haters. Thank the haters.
Thank the haters. Oh, Larsa arrives in an outfit that's wearing her. Not the first, not the last. Adriana understood the assignment. And Stephanie is annoying. She's dressed head to toe in Tom Brown. And her fucking dog, Hector. She is, again, because she has no creativity, she has to rely on labels. And she has to rely on racks and mannequins, just like fucking Dorit. These two women really bother me.
My friend Drew Droege always says there's a difference between a technician and an artist.
Yes.
There are people who are good at accomplishing a task, and then there are people who their soul is expressed through their clothes, cooking, painting, whatever. Like, yeah.
Yeah.
Stephanie has a real Dorit. Like, there's a coldness to everything she does. It's like, yes, you completed the assignment, and I want to go away. I don't want to be close to you. It's bringing nothing to my life except, like, you got 100. And I will say that both Adriana and Stephanie arrive in miniskirts and thigh highs. And then shortly thereafter, Lisa arrives in a miniskirt and thigh highs, and everyone's like, she's a whore. She's dressed like a slut. She's in a porno. And I was like, you guys, nobody got this right. And yes, Lisa's is like slightly more leg avenue than the rest of you, but still, you're all wearing miniskirts and thigh highs. So can we, whatever.
Of all the things I was expecting to come out of your mouth, leg avenue was not one. If you know, you know. Oh my God, Margie. Oh my God. Oh my God.
That's where you go to get your slutty Halloween costumes.
Oh, I'm
pack,
familiar. I'm familiar.
Pack.
It's a fishnet body stocking in neon blue. How do I know? I don't know.
Well,
Don't
and
ask
they
me.
had like Alice in Wonderland was like white thigh-high fishnets with a blue tulle skirt and like a bra.
Yes,
and
totally.
like that was your Halloween in a sack.
It's all
So
size,
stupid.
small, medium, large.
Yes,
and you're like,
that's
okay.
right. It would say one size fits most.
Oh my
And
God,
I was like,
totally.
well, fucking all right, here we go.
Holy shit. Adriana pulls Marysol aside to apologize, and I really liked this. She says she was really drunk. It was not an excuse, but she's owning that it contributed to her tirade. And Marysol says what we all think, well, booze is a truth serum. And Adriana said, well, you do the same thing. Marysol says, like, listen, I just tried to ignore you. And Marysol says, can we not continue this? Can we join forces and just be here together to support the group?
Yeah, I thought this was a great resolution. Like
Mhm.
Marysol says, can you just lay off me? This group has bigger problems. And maybe you and I can let our shit go and unite in a way to hopefully get everyone else to reconcile. So, and it seemed legitimate enough. So, Kiki arrives looking adorable, but not preppy. Julia arrives. She's brought eggs. So, okay. Lisa arrives in her slut porn costume, even though everyone else is already wearing a similar look.
Wednesday Addams meets Clueless.
It's just preppy got lost in that equation.
They think that it's a collar and then it's preppy. I don't know.
Yeah. And a bow in the hair. It's all weird. Were they not alive in the 80s? Maybe
I
they're
don't
too
know,
young.
but like, I don't know what TikTok's version is of preppy. Like, I don't know what preppy means right now. I just know
Oh,
that
yeah, you're right.
my preppy is 80s preppy. And to me, that's like fucking rugby shirt
Pink
and
and green and penny
penny
loafers
loafers.
and yeah.
Jinx. Yes. Thank you. That's what it was. I mean, I was a Mexican Jewish girl running around in preppy clothes in fucking 7th and 8th grade.
I
So,
mean, they were like in movies, like the
yeah.
preppies were like a,
Yeah, you wore 2 polo shirts together and one of the
yeah,
collars was popped up, or 2 of them,
yep,
or your jean jacket was.
yeah.
Listen, nobody called for fucking old ladies talking about preppy outfits from the 80s, but
Oh, I
like,
do believe this cast may very well call to be like, what did we do? Because we did it wrong. What is a preppy? Um,
ChatGPT, what do I wear to a preppy party?
oh God.
Any hoot.
They migrate out to the table to start dining. And Marysol talks some more about her dad, who's the inspiration for this party. And Adriana says that girls get chromosomes from their dads. So that explains the similarities between Marysol and her dad. And I was like, well, that, not to be rude, but that's like basic genetics. Like, that is the nature of creation. And so, yes, a man and a woman love each other very much and make a baby. So thanks. And then Adriana reports that she's getting her master's in clinical psychology from Harvard. And Marysol and Larsa shit on it. And now I'm unclear, though. Is it a certificate course? And then I quickly self-corrected and was like, do I care? No, she's studying at Harvard, whether it's a certificate or a diploma. She's studying clinical psychology. She's learning. Sorry, guys. She's not like taking pictures of her like toes. Whatever. Like, do whatever you want, but like, don't shit on this. Like, this is
Honestly,
cool.
she said she had to earn her way in. I'm sure Harvard isn't just like, hey, randos, fucking sign up and get your psychology degree. She's really smart.
They do have extension courses and certificate programs. It's a way for schools to make money. But, and I started to go like, is that what this is? But then I was like, I don't care. She's enrolled in classes, studying books, taking exams, working toward a degree or certificate. That's cool. It doesn't matter. And also, have you ladies darkened the door of Harvard online, in person, in any way, shape, or form? Like, just stop shitting on someone for like learning shit.
Larsa saying all she had to do was sign up for an online course. Girl, shut up.
I love an online course. Like, I like learning. Sorry, I sound like a huge nerd,
No,
but
you don't.
like the end of life doula training thing that I took during the pandemic was primarily online. Is that dumb? Like, I don't understand. Because again, I started to go down that same judgment place of like, is it real? And it's like, anyone who's learning something, whether it's in an online course or just because they like to read about stuff on their own, why is that lame?
Because they're threatened.
They are. And you're about to have like a psychologist in your group of friends. What a gift.
Yes, but also like, oh, be careful. Get your shit together because
There's going to be a lot of I don't hate you, but I see you coming from her.
Julia is wearing Martina's Wimbledon sweater, wank wank, haha, at Kiki's fake shirt. That was hilarious. And they all reinforce that they need to move forward together as a group. And then Gertie pulls Julia aside, and it should be noted that Gertie invites Julia to pick out where they're going to sit, where they're going to chat, because Gertie doesn't want to seem bossy. Again, she's having to dull herself down lest she be misunderstood by people that are not interested in understanding her. So Gertie tells Julia she's still not reconciling how they're so far apart. Like, Julia's expression is so condescending when Gertie is telling her this. Poor Gertie. I've been there, man. You're there. You're pouring your heart out. You're taking your responsibility. And you know logically that the other person, you're not there to repair because of the other person or getting something from the other person. You're doing it for your own soul and because it's the psychically, cosmically right thing to do. So, like, you do that, you're vulnerable, but the other person just gives you a condescending look. Ooh, my hair just stood up. I'm so mad. I'm mad. I'm mad at that.
Yeah. And again, she has to explain that she felt misunderstood. And I appreciated her for saying, basically, she realizes she took too big a swing by putting those texts up at the party. She said, I went about expressing my hurt in the wrong way. I felt cornered. No one believes me. Everyone thinks I'm a piece of shit. And again, I wish Julia had just really heard that, because whether or not you think that's true, she's just like, no, they don't. They don't think you're a piece of shit. Look at your friend. That's how she's interpreted what's happened. So why don't you think about what it is in my behavior that led my friend to believe that I think she's a piece of shit? And let's talk about that so I don't repeat that pattern, because that's not like, but instead she's like, no, that's not true. That's not what happened. That's not how you should feel. And Gertie starts crying and she says, you're my friend, and she got like emotional and broke down. And eventually they make their way around to agreeing that they were both acting from a place of hurt and they are not their best when they are coming from that place. They agree to move forward. And Gertie, I don't know if it's like, I couldn't tell if it was like optimistic or if she just has like a new framing of this, of what she expects from Julia. She's like, sorry equals change in a relationship usually. So she's ready to move on and party in Seville. So basically, this argument isn't important enough to ruin a trip to Spain. So Gertie's happy to like take this, and that seems, yeah. It was unsatisfying to me,
Yeah,
but
so unsatisfying,
Gertie,
dude.
fresh off of
Dr. Jackie.
yes, is seemed to handle it and receive it as well as anyone could.
So they're going to take Stephanie's jet from Seville to Marbella. And she's going to take 3 women on her jet from Miami to Sevilla, but they can all fly to Marbella together to see Julia's close friends. And at this point, Stephanie and Alexia go to chat, and Stephanie wants things to be cordial and put the Rottweiler Chihuahua bullshit to bed. Do you? Do you, though? Because this whole fucking conversation is about Chihuahuas and Rottweilers. And I feel like my poor brain cells are like, bitch, really? This is what you're going to use me on? And I'm like, sorry, we're almost done.
But see, I'm telling you, I agree with Stephanie in this moment. She said, I feel like you, to Alexia, she says, I feel like you belittle people. When you called me a Chihuahua, it was symbolism. Basically saying you're making me small and irrelevant. You're saying you're the big Rottweiler, you're the dominant. And I'm a little shrieky Chihuahua ankle biting in this group. And Stephanie says, it's not going to go well if you continue belittling me. And this is where I do love a rich woman with nothing to lose. It's because that's basically a threat, saying like, I see you trying to mask you calling me small and irrelevant, and I see it, and fuck you, and I have a private jet. What now? And Alexi's like, I'm sorry you felt that way. I'm sorry if I offended you. So, okay. Stephanie then reports that Marysol turned down a seat on her private jet because she wanted to travel with Alexia, who is her bestie and who this trip has been planned for. So Alexia also turns down the offer to take that last seat on the private jet. She will stand by her best friend who stood by her. And then they return to the table.
Stephanie is incredulous. Who gives up a seat on a private jet for a friend? Bitch, I do. I do. I don't, you know what? I also don't think I want to fly over like a massive amount of water that like, isn't it true? Oh my God, I'm going to risk sounding real stupid right now. And if I don't know what I'm talking about, I'm totally okay with you saying that is incorrect. But it's true that not every inch of the ocean has been like explored, correct? Like it's too big to do that, correct?
I do not have the answer to that question. I do not know.
It's like basically like outer space, but on the earth is what the ocean is.
Well, certainly underneath the water, there's no way to get a load of all that.
My hair just stood up because I am afraid of deep ocean water.
I'm terrified. The ocean, shallow, deep, any of it. Riptides, currents, you never know what it's got going on. And it's so powerful. Oof.
That's exactly what I'm saying. So like let's say we're talking in private jet demographic. lie flat in first class on a big jet, a big airliner? Absolutely. Small private jet going over a fucking ocean? No, thank you. No,
I
thanks.
mean, but you get to bypass TSA. Like, honestly, I hate the airport so much. And from Miami to Europe, it's like from LA to Hawaii, it's 6 hours. You know, it's not like 14 like it is for us. Any excuse not to enter an airport. Oh my God.
Little tiny sidebar. I'll try
Yeah.
to keep this short. So my husband is notoriously so hard to shop for birthdays, like Christmas, whatever. Like he's impossible to shop for. He has a reputation for it. I had to get really creative. He hates TSA. I got him TSA pre-check. I made him the appointment. I filled out all the shit. He had to go down there, but we both have TSA pre-check now. And that is probably the only reason why I don't abhor going. I hate all the shit before, but once I'm through TSA, it's fine. Yeah, best $85 I ever spent in my life.
Truly.
Yeah. So Lisa recognizes that she's not going to get that seat, that one seat that's left. And this is where Stephanie gets real weird. And she's like, she makes an announcement about who's coming with her and why. She's leveraging this jet. It's just so weird.
It's just like a dick swinging moment where she's just like, I have a private jet and it's all I'm going to talk about and who's going to go on it. And I've already anointed these 3 people, but I have one more seat. Who's going to fight for it? Kiki or Adriana? And Kiki's like, I'm happy to relinquish the seat so you can get to know Adriana better. So I was like, way to take all of the steam out of her moment. I love Kiki so much. She's the best.
Dude, seriously.
And then Adriana takes a little swipe at Julia saying, you know, my supposed best friend is already on the plane and she didn't fight for me to be on it. And I wish I had the same kind of relationship with Julia that Marysol and Alexia have. And that brings Alexia to tears, emotional that Marysol's, you know, being a demonstrative best friend in that way, which is nice. And she says, this trip is for Alexia and I would never leave her. And I was like, aw, friends. Cute.
Cute. Then we got the mid-season trailer, and I can't even remember what they were. I don't know. I'm sure we saw some scenes.
That's when Peter says to his mom, like, you're going to do this to Frankie?
Yeah.
About Todd. And I was like, fuck yeah.
Ooh, Peter. Broken clock. That's a broken clock. And he's right. Friend, what else did you watch this week?
I watched Orange County. I watched The Valley, but I don't want to hear my take. I want to hear yours. And then I watched The Challenge. There's a new version of that on called Vets and New Threats. And I kind of love it because it's a compilation of like people from all different shows, some that I watch, some that I don't. There's a guy from Cheer on it, the Netflix cheerleading series, Survivor, Big Brother, Love Island UK. And I don't watch all those. So it's fascinating to me to like get to know these people. And anyways, it's amazing. And then another show on Netflix, Perfect Match, is back for another season. That's another like compilation all-star cast with people from Netflix shows, which is normal, Too Hot to Handle, The Ultimatum, Love is Blind, but then also Siesta Key, Love Island UK, The Bachelor. Like the cast is wild. And I'm not all the way through all the episodes that were released, but I gotta say, I was like, ugh, I'll watch this trash because I have like shit to do. And my ass was planted. I had shit to do that, you know, I should have been moving around the space, but I got super invested in it. So it's good. Perfect Match on Netflix this new season. First few episodes, great.
I'm excited to watch it because I also need a show like that.
Yeah.
Right now. And Rachel Recchia from The Bachelor and The Bachelorette is going to be on. I am going to watch the shit out of that.
What else did you watch this week?
I also watched Orange County. I watched And Just Like That, the episode that was supposed to be the finale, but then nobody called for that shit. I'm still doing a Big Mouth rewatch because I'm holding on to the last 2 episodes because they're the last 2 final episodes. So, I'm so sad. And then I realized that instead of watching The Valley proper, I could just watch parts 1 and parts 2 of the fucking reunion. And I've learned enough from the Zeitgeist and Reddit and you, and I really enjoyed it. I don't know these people here. Now, I could be totally wrong, but let's see. Let's see how these fit. Jesse, piece of shit. Michelle, better than Jesse. Jax, obviously, a piece of shit. Brittany, better. Kristen seems very level-headed now. I've heard terrible things about Janet, so I do not feel like I can have I feel like I need to do more recon with her before I make a judgment, but I have not read good things. And then there's Mia and Danny. Are those, what are their
Mm-hmm.
names?
Yeah, Mia and Danny.
Mia
Yeah.
and Danny.
Or Mia and Danny? Anyways.
I got a good vibe, a positive vibe, but again, I do not fucking know. Zach, Scrotox. Yes, I'd much rather get Scrotox or hear about Scrotox or even watch somebody get Scrotox than ever go into a dog brothel again. Poor Brittany. Oof, I really saw her struggles on that stage. I thought Jasmine had some good takes, and I thought Zach had some good takes. It was in the background, but it was still entertaining, and I didn't have to go through the trauma that everyone else did watching it.
That's great. What a great solution you found to
Worked for
getting
me.
caught up on the valley. There you go.
Mm-hmm. And what was your antidepressant this week?
My antidepressant this week was, so I think I've talked about it before. My mom is in her mid 80s and experiencing some cognitive decline issues, which makes technology kind of a mystery to her these days. And this week, suddenly out of nowhere, a group FaceTime call gets launched. And nobody ever FaceTimes me because I'm an absolute hard no. But I saw it was my mom, so I was concerned. So I answered it. And as I was talking to her, saying like, let me just call you back on the phone because this is the family FaceTime. So it's my sister, all three of her kids, my mom and me. And I was like, let's not disturb them. And suddenly my niece pops on and my sister pops on FaceTime. And then my little nephew pops on, who I never see on FaceTime. And he's so cute, I could barely stand it. I turned into like a literal like cartoon aunt where I was like, oh my God, you're so cute, I can't take it. And he's 15. So like I'm a nightmare, but he is so cute, I can't take it. And then my other nephew came home, like happened to arrive home. So the whole family, my cognitive decline mom accidentally hit a button on her phone and launched this FaceTime where our whole family was together like for the first time in like a while. And everyone, I don't know, everyone was there and we chatted for a while and my mom told some stories and it was just like a really like lovely, unexpected. And it was late on the East Coast where my sister and her kids are. And they were all exhausted. I looked like shit because I'm in the middle of doing like some decluttering crap. But it was just like the most unexpected, delightful little FaceTime family reunion I could ever have imagined. So what a little gift. What a weird little gift. And it made me so happy. And just thinking about seeing, especially the boys, because they're teenagers, and they don't, I don't get to see them a lot or hear a lot. So it was just lovely to see them all together and all the siblings giggling together. Like that's such a great stage of life to have a sibling. At that age, like all of my passwords had to do with my sister, and 90% of my identity was being a sister.
I remember the email address you had when I first met you.
Mm-hmm. It's a combination of my sister's and my name.
It
So,
certainly was.
yep.
Yeah.
Anyways, that was my antidepressant. What was yours?
Beautiful. I was in Portland over last weekend for my sister's birthday, and it was lovely catching up with people that I haven't seen in a long time, having some great conversations, actually socializing 3 days in a row. It was really fun to pack outfits, like full ass outfits with jewelry and shoes and a different bag. Like it was really fun. And my niece and I love makeup. We love skincare. And so every time I go to Portland, I take her to Ulta and I buy her stuff because I'm the aunt and I can do that now. And I know that when I was younger and my aunt would take me and buy me stuff, I was like, oh my fucking God, this is the best day of my life. Not because she was buying me something, but because I was special to her and she was treating me like I was special. And we had a special bond. And I'm not projecting that stuff onto Ruby, but I know that she really enjoys our time when we go to Sephora and Ulta. And it was really fun hanging out with her. It was just great. And the weather's finally gotten fucking hot in Oakland this week. This has been the coldest summer of all time in the Bay Area since, like, I don't know, I thought it was like 1995, but then Josh said it was 1945 or some shit. All I know is that it's been fucking cold as shit for the summer. And it's sunny out right now and it's warm, so that's nice.
It's lovely. Just I'm reminding everyone because it's been like temperate, mild-ish down here. And I'm like, you guys, we all do this. We forget that summer happens in September and October, where everyone is sweating on Halloween. September is a scorcher. It's starting to heat up down here now, but it's been like, I mean, it's literally been like low 70s and like cloudy and breezy all the way through July. Like I went out the night of, I remember it was August 1st. I don't know. It was like a Friday night. And I was like freezing, like waiting for the Uber to come. And I was like, oh my God, it's August 1st. And I'm like shivering on the Southern California sidewalk. It was crazy. Anyways, weather, am I right?
LOL.
God.
So I have to have surgery next Tuesday. I'm having my gallbladder removed. Thank fucking God. I have been.
Bye. Good riddance.
Good riddance.
Jerk.
See you later, jerk. Right? I'm so grateful. Knock wood. Knock fucking whatever this foam insulation is. That I have not had an attack since the 29th of June, and hopefully I won't have one before they take this shit out on Tuesday. But I don't know. I don't know about next week's episode. I don't know yet. So I'm just letting everyone know right now. I don't know what is going to happen. I could record it from my bed when I'm recovering, or I don't know yet. So I'm trying to figure that out.
No, there's nothing to figure out. Surgery first, and then we'll take it from there.
I hear you, but you know me. I like to stay in the repetition of it all too, you know? Plus I just love it. It's the highlight of my week is when I get to do this with you.
And it may work out that it happens, but I just want you to focus on prepping for surgery and taking post-procedure suggestions seriously.
Oh,
That's
for
all I care
sure.
about.
Believe me. On that note, friend, it was lovely to chat with you before we hit record, after we hit record, all the times. It's just fucking lovely. I love you so much.
Same.
Don't know what it would be like without you in my life. I wish that these women knew it's not that big of a deal. It's uncomfortable to be open and honest and vulnerable, but then you get a relationship that you wouldn't trade for anything in the world. No amount of private jets, Stephanie, can replace what I have with my friend Margie McGee.
It's true, but I just want to remind us how much work it took. It took
Yes.
therapy and multiple 12-step programs and astrologers. And
Oh my God.
it took all of the
Fucking
things
agape.
we tried that led us to this podcast
God,
of
yes.
I didn't want to function how I was functioning. And it took a shit ton of work to be willing to try to be vulnerable because it's clunky as hell at first, you know?
I do.
And I think we're so close because, at least on my end, you saw me through a large part of that clunky beginning of me learning how to talk about the truth. Like, here's what I'm really about. Here's what's true about my family of origin. Here's what I'm actually scared about, instead of I'm fine, everything's good. My family's hilarious, which is all also true. But you were with me as I learned the language to talk about things truthfully.
It was never clunky, friend. Never on my end. It was never clunky. It was just you sharing was a safe space for me. And if you trusted me and I could see myself through your eyes, then I must be a good person. And I'm not, oh God, that sounds like I'm making it about me,
No.
but I saw my reflection.
Yeah.
And I loved you and our mornings at the shitty ass Starbucks and the shitty ass fucking, oh my God, that shopping center was such an abomination. But you restored my hope in things in dark, dark times. Without you, I would have been hopeless.
Same. And we had those coffees there, and we would have these serious conversations. And then a member of the Church of Scientology would walk in their stupid uniforms, and we'd take a 30-minute break to be like, are you fucking kidding me with this? You're going to have an organization. That's who represents you. Someone in blue Dockers. Oh, okay. Yeah, definitely want to join your church. It was everything all at once. And that's what I love about you and this, is that therapy was therapy. And I went in there to work on things that I was having issues with. And the Groundlings. What's the Groundlings? And I went on over there to like tell jokes and get laughs. And like you were sort of this like crazy like Venn diagram, precious Venn diagram crossover. There's only like 3 souls in there in my whole life. I mean, what a blessing.
A huge
Gross,
blessing.
sorry for that word, but it's true.
No, it's so true. It's so true. And I never fucking take it for granted. And I'm so grateful that I never take it for granted. I adore you. On that note, tell your Margie or tell your Ramona how much you love them.
Yeah.
Ramona and Margie are, obviously, not doctors and do not provide medical advice. Their content is intended to be used for entertainment purposes only. It is not intended to be, should not be interpreted as, or used as a substitute for medical advice or a diagnosis of any health or fitness problem, condition, or disease, nor a recommendation for a specific test, doctor, care provider, procedure, treatment plan, product, or course of action.
My mom isn't a doctor.